To discuss the 2024 budget is Vice President, Nigerian Irish Business Association, Aliyu Audu. Mr. Aliyu, always a pleasure to have you join us on News Hour.
How are you? Good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year as well. Now, taking a look at the 2024 budget, one will say it is the Nigeria's biggest budget in history. What are your takeaways from the appropriations?
Thank you very much. Given the budget, there has been an overall increment in revenue from last year. We have 18.3 trillion against 11 trillion from last year. And that is the aggregate revenue. In terms of aggregate expenditure too, it has increased from 24 trillion of last year to 27 trillion of this year. So I will say I'm quite impressed by the increment in the revenue, but also our cost of servicing debt is going higher, meaning we are borrowing, which is not good. At this stage, we should be looking at spending more on capital expenditure for development, because this is the only way you create jobs. You support the economy. You bring in money into the economy. And so I believe that is where we should be heading. We should be heading to having more capital expenditure to create jobs, especially in the face of economic hardship, rather than having a higher recurrent expenditure. But on the aggregate, I believe is an ambitious budget, and we're heading towards the direction, even though we can do better. Thank you very much.
Now, Ms. Aliyu, you made mention of debt servicing is going higher, as well as capital expenditure. What are the consequences of our current spending patterns?
Well, it means that if we are spending high to service debt, that means I think currently we are spending about 8.2 trillion thereabouts, which is almost 1/3 of the budget, meaning we are spending money that we are supposed to spend to create jobs in capital expenditures. We are using it to service debt. This is not good. It's an indication that we need to reduce borrowing. We need to reduce borrowing and look for ways to generate income. Borrowing is not helping us, because once you borrow, you are going to pay interest to pay back that loan. And instead of using the money you use for interest, you can use it on capital expenditures and other important expenditures like infrastructural development, which is what is critical for the country right now. So it indicates that we need to reduce borrowing and look inward. Let's look inward into generating revenue. Let's look inward into tapping various sectors of the economy, stimulating various sectors of the economy, like solid minerals and other strong industries in the economy. Let's look at Ajaokuta Steel. It's lying fallow, and efforts are being done to revive the industry. This will create jobs. So we should look more to the economy rather than looking outwards and borrowing. Thank you very much.
Now, to critically take a look at the global economic outlook, do you think this budget will be financed adequately to bring about the needed economic growth in the country?
Well, it's a budget. The budget means is, we're anticipating this is what we're going to do. Now, given the way things are going, we have reduced subsidy, or should I say subsidy has been taken off, and we are looking into stimulating local production of fuel, meaning that we're not going to be importing more. I think this would help the economy in the long run, especially in reducing the cost of fuel. And also, I believe once the local refineries start production, Dangote refinery, for example, and the modular refineries, this in the long run will reduce the cost of fuel. And remember, we have one of the highest inflation in over 20 years at 28%. This is cost-push inflation. So with stimulation of local production, I believe in the long run, this would reduce the cost of fuel and will reduce the cost of inflation. And as well,